Hey folks, it's Jim. I'm going to do the video on my little cache here and how we did it. Got some other items up here that will come into the video later. Got our leftover paracord because we don't want to butcher our paracord, do we? We want to keep it good. Want to know how to tie knots so that we don't have to butcher our paracord. All of this assembly, including this arm strap, is one piece of paracord, okay? So we want to keep that in mind. We're going to need a carabiner for our chest, but yeah, that's about it. Okay, so one thing I want to first start out and show you how to tie this is you want to use a Mountain Climber's 8 over here. Okay, and that's where you start with your bite. Okay, tie that 8 in, or you can start on the bottom, tie this 8 in, okay? You can do either way, but you have to start over here with an 8, okay? Then you're going to wrap around. First, you take the paracord and you wrap it around and hold it there. Then come over here. Okay, that's where I'm going to tie. Now you're going to take a bite, right? So let's take a bite, how much we're going to need to use to bite and everything, okay? So that kind of gives you a point of where you're going to tie your Climber's 8 on, right? Now we're going to use that with a loop, right? Leave your loop out because that's what you're going to put your cord through. Then come over here, work this side down. Now your knots are even, okay? Then you're going to work down to here, all right? We're using hitches, 8s, and that's all we really need, okay? And then we're going to come down here and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find our point. We're not going to tie down here. We're going to come over here and again do our 8 with a loop, right? Mountain Climber's 8. All right. Now we're going to come back and we're going to work some more. All of this is one. You've got it, when you pull this down, hold it, then come over here. That's going to tell you your tie point that's going to let you come out even with this one, right? Then come back and work this point here. Then you finish, then create your loop. That's why you want to know your 8, your Mountain Climber's 8, so you can have your loop already in here before you come back up, and you're just going to simply work to it, right? And that's it, and you're done. So it's all one piece of paracord, and that's the way you want it to go. Then you're going to use another piece, right? And you're going to create your other arm strap, and that's it. Okay, and so you want to be able to make sure you say, okay, yep, that's what I'm going to need for my arm strap, and you're all good to go, right? So, and it's easy to do, trust me, okay? Just know your knots, and I recommend having a knot card. This has 20 knots. It's very thin, very easy. This, because I always forget my knots, is going in my cache. That's why I have it out here for you today. This is 20 different knots, front and back, okay? And sometimes one card will have 4 knots, okay, front and back. So just to know that. I keep one of these in my truck, I keep one in my car, I keep one in my on my person at all time. That way I know my knots, because I forget them. Okay, so now that I've explained all of that, now you can see how this simple setup works, right? Okay, so let's get into our rig. And I've already got that. All right, let's get into our rig and let's see how this setup works. Okay. And there we go. And ba-doom, walking on. I may not be a smart man, but I know how I can get home. Anyway, but you're not going to just stop there. You're going to want a chest strap, aren't you? You know, you're going to want to secure this a little bit and be able to adjust the straps. Now, for some of you, my clothes are thick and tough, right? Canvas and padded and everything because of my climate. Some of you are in a warmer weather climate and you're going to want to dress down. So just use, hopefully you're packing socks in your pack, right? All right, so everybody needs socks, an extra pair of socks in their cache. If you don't have one in there, I suggest you go put one in, because socks are one of the most important things we're going to have. But what you can do, take a sock, for those of you who might have tender shoulders and stuff like that, and then wherever you feel that you need extra padding, tuck in your sock, right? And the weight of the strap is going to keep it there. But now you've got a nice padded strap. I can't even feel this versus this side, okay? So that's going to help you there. And hopefully you have socks in your cache. Please, I hope you do. I don't really need it, but some of you may need it, okay? So the other thing you want to do if you're using 550 paracord, double everything I just showed you. You don't need to double your straps, but you do need to double your wraps on your barrel, okay? I use 750 Grizzly mil-spec, so I trust it, and I've worked with it a lot, and I kind of got an idea of how it stretches and how it doesn't stretch. But the way, if you tie these right, it's going to cinch around the back of the barrel, right? So let's look at the back. See how it's kind of pulling on itself to make that barrel tighter? So even as the cord stretches, it's still going to tighten on the back of the barrel, which is where it will fall out, right? It's not going to fall off your backside. It's going to fall off the back of the barrel. But as this goes on, it keeps tightening around that, okay? And that's what we want. Because of our pull points, it may loosen on your front side towards your back, but it's going to stay tight around the lips of the barrel back there, okay? So that's what you want. But if you're using 550, 2 wraps around your barrel, okay? Make sure you get that done. And it doesn't make it any harder to do your 2 wraps as it does 1 wrap, okay? The other thing I wanted to get into was the fact that I use a pocket reference is going in my pack too. I only have it in this baggie because it's damp and misty out here, and I don't want this wet at all before I pack it in there. And this will be repacked in a nice vacuum sealed pack, and this is a pocket reference that has about every question answered that you're ever going to need to survive. There are many references out there. You can look all that stuff up for yourself. I'm not on YouTube to sell stuff, okay? But the one thing I do absolutely recommend is your knot cards, okay? Make sure you have these, folks. This is 20 knots. I can't remember knots for the life of me. I can remember about 7 knots. But here we have 20 knots that are extremely useful, okay? And, you know, unfortunately, I'm limited, you know, on what I can remember and what I can't. But all of these knots have great importance, and I can't stress enough how important these knots are. But anyway, you can see our pack, right? It's very comfortable. It sits nicely on my back. That's why I wanted that flat plate, remember? Not bad at all. And then you just use this simple little, you know, that's it. And you got yourself a pack. And now I can get to camp and I'm not carrying something, or, you know, my hands are going to get tired, aren't they, if I'm carrying a bucket or something like that. And take as much gear out of the barrel as you can and put it on your person, right? Remember how I did my bug out video? Put as much gear on you as you can. You should have everything to survive on your body at all times. That way, if you do have to give up a pack or something to survive, you're not going to give up your survival gear. It's on you. So take as much weight out of the pack and get it on you as you can before you even step off, okay? And that should be quite a lot, like my Henry's rifle. I will assemble the rifle, throw the box back in the setup, but the rifle itself, I'll be packing, won't I? So I'm going to get as much weight out of the barrel as I can before I step off, right? Very important. And I hope that this makes sense to you. But that's why I went with this barrel, man. Wow. Doesn't this thing just, it does everything I wanted it to do. And don't you love it when you get something at half price that you've been stocking for a long time like I have, waiting for this thing to go on sale finally, and it comes in and it works. Isn't that awesome? You know, so anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. But yeah, keep on trucking, right? So hopefully this series has been somewhat informative. I'm going to do another video. I just wanted to show you why I wanted this barrel so bad. You know, you could do it with anything, right? You can make a pack out of anything. It's just this thing makes it simple, and it's great for potable water. And you just see why I wanted it so bad. And next we're going to do on my 30-day rule. That's my next video. I have a 30-day rule about making caches, and I haven't heard anyone else talk about it. So maybe old Jim Bob, maybe I'm the only one who does it, but I make sure my caches work. There are more failed caches than successful ones. You must understand this. Okay? So, anyway, be wise. Keep on trucking. Hope you're having a good day. It's been raining here for 17 days, man. I am so bored. That's why I'm making a video about caches, because Jimbo's bored. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. And Jim out.